Well, the first thing is finding a horse. Denny Emerson's book came out a couple of years ago. It has a great chapter on a discussion he had with David Hopper, who's a horse dealer in New York. And David grades his horses as far as temperament from 1 to 10. And the horses from 1 to 4 will absorb your mistakes as a rider. They're good horses to learn on. The horses from 5 to 6 tolerate your mistakes. The horses from 7 to 8 magnify your mistakes. And then 8s and 9s are usually horses that are pretty unrideable for whatever reason. So I advise my students getting into the sport to think about temperament as a really important piece of the puzzle. And it's also, like any relationship with people, you're attracted to a certain personality. So if the horse is perfect for you, but you just don't get along, are you going to want to spend hours and hours and hours with that horse? So I think you need to not only find a horse that's appropriate for you as far as the horse's experience, but also a horse that you can connect with in a relationship, on a relationship level. Then there's breed, there's age, there's experience, and then there's price. So finding the right horse is key because it costs, as we all know, just as much to feed a horse that's not going to advance you as a rider as it is to feed a horse that's going to take you, where you want to go. The other thing is finding the right trainer. And again, not every teacher is right for every student. Different students have different learning styles. Some need to see, some are more proprioceptive, they need to feel, some are more intellectual and they have to understand things by reading about the theory. So ideally it's nice to find a teacher who can combine all of those ways of teaching so that the student really has a multifaceted way of learning about a subject and really owns that knowledge. I think a good way to pick the appropriate trainer for you is to talk to people, to go to shows, talk to this trainer's students, find out what their experience is. It's much more fun to be, for me, I know I learn much better if I'm in an environment that's fun and filled with energy than always feeling criticized or put down. And I grew up in an era where most of my trainers at a young age had been taught by cavalry people, so it was, it was not the easiest way to learn how to ride, and it definitely toughened me up. But I think that I would have learned even more quickly and more happily if I'd had instructors who could have encouraged me and supported me more.